Okay, welcome everybody. Now open the Executive and Finance and Corporate Standing Committee meeting for the 12th of October. We do have a request for leave of absence from Councillor Shoemaker. I'll move that. Do we have a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Erkins. Those in favour? Carried unanimously. We have performed the recognition of our traditional owners this morning. So we've acknowledged that at the previous meeting for the day. We will just note that Councillor Henchen will be with us shortly. He's on his way back to join us online. And do we have any declarations of conflict of interest? If not, we'll move on. Accepting the minutes of the previous meeting. At item 5, where the recommendation is that the minutes of the Executive and Finance and Corporate Standing Committee meeting held on the 21st of September 2022 be received. Do we have a mover? Councillor Potter, seconder. Councillor Erkins, thank you. Speakers to the vote, those in favour? Carried unanimously, thank you all. We have a notice of motion in relation to Cape Nicks Park at page 23. Councillor Duff, thank you.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Leo Garrity, the President of the Mergen Business Development Association, asked for this to be progressed, and we had a meeting. I think all the councillors were invited to go and have a look at the actual issue that Leo has raised. He was looking at doing, going around that Boat Mountain area and making places in different places apart from Cape Nicks Park where people could view the beautiful scenery. And then we decided at that meeting that perhaps rather than just picking and choosing places that might affect landholders and like there'll be too many people pulling up at different spots, that we could actually do it at Cape Nicks Park where it was meant to be in the first place. And actually I've spoken to Greg who owns that piece of land that's actually where the trees are up a little bit and causing a lack of viewing. And he said that if council wanted to, they could just, he can do it. It's like regrowth. It's not an issue with as far as vegetation management, just to clear that little piece with a bulldozer, and then you'd be able to have that as the view. And we talked to Leo about perhaps putting a viewing platform there and making that the place where people pull up, because council maintains Cape Nicks Park in any case. So rather than, like I said, rather than going around and picking and choosing different spots where council would have to slash different areas, that we just do it at Cape Nicks Park. So that was the rationale and the idea behind the motion. So, yep, just wanted to put that council engage contractors with the consent of the private landholder to clear vegetation currently obstructing the viewing area from Cape Nicks Park, Boat Mountain, and seek quotes for the construction of a modest timber viewing platform at the park.
We'll take that as a recommendation to council. Has moved. Do we have a seconder? Okay, Councillor Erkins. Let's have a debate around this. Councillor, so we're just first of all seeking quotes for construction of the timber bat. That's not committing council to actually do it. We just seek quotes and then a report comes back. Is that what your intention is?
Yes, Mr Mayor.
So we know what the cost is before we give a commitment to that?
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay.
That's correct.
All right, so no commitment to that until we get some pricing around it. Secondly, then, engaging contractors. Did you say Mr Cape Nicks was prepared to do the work himself?
He was not. He was wanting us to do it. He wasn't wanting to fund getting a bulldozer there and do it.
Do we have any idea what area of land we're talking about and what it might cost our budget to do that?
It's only just a small strip across in front of the park. It would be, I'd say, it'd be an hour's work.
All right, okay. That's my questions. Councillor Potter.
Yeah, thank you, Mr Mayor. I love viewing platforms and everything like that, and I think they're wonderful. I've just got a couple of concerns here. The issues of us going on to private land and doing some clearing, for starters, whether we're allowed to go onto private land and clear. But you've got bulldozing, like you've actually mentioned, I think, clearing that land, and I'm just not too sure whether we're allowed to clear that land, whether that's under the green zone. I mean, that's something that we've probably got to double check. And then when you bulldoze land, are there going to be issues with landslides and stuff like that? Because we do have to be careful. If we're going to be doing that on somebody else's land and then something happens, that will then fall back onto us as council. That's probably one of my concerns, Mr Mayor.
I think we probably need to go to you now, General Manager, in relation to Councillor Potter's concerns. Yeah.
Yeah, 3%. Yeah, so yeah, I'm certainly not familiar with the area. We would have to run run the map through DNR to get that report back if it's heavily timbered. And that, so yeah, if it's regrowth, it's likely to be white, not of concern. But we would have to check that before we did anything.
Could we put that into the motion that council? Can we insert that into the motion?
Yeah, I think it would
Just
certainly be more
that's clear.
comfortable if we were investigating and bringing back that, because then we could get a costing and make sure that there is no native vegetation restrictions.
So, Councillor Duff, would you be prepared to consider having this come back to the next meeting once the staff have had a chance to check with the vegetation mapping, and also just have a look and confirm that it's not going to cause any landsliding or erosion? Your thoughts on that?
Yes, Mr Mayor.
Okay, so what if we just change it to say that the council investigate the vegetation mapping, vegetation, the vegetation mapping requirements and potential safety issues, and bring a report back to council including written consent from the private landholder, and then just delete until you get to clear vegetation. To clear vegetation currently obstructing the viewing area from Cape Dix Park, Boat Mountain, and seek quotes for the construction of a modest timber viewing platform at the park, with a report to be brought back to council as to design and costing. So that'd be basically then two independent reports, Pete, I'd imagine, wouldn't they? Yeah, two departments. Okay, two different parts. Councillor Duff, are you comfortable with that?
Mr Mayor, I'd like a timeline around that. Thank you.
You'd like a timeline? I think that's probably a question for you, GM. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think we could certainly come back in December. So, like, yeah, once we get the lot number doing the vegetation mapping, won't be too much of an issue. And we can get an indicative costing where they can, on the viewing platform. So is that modest timber viewing platform? Yeah, we can get some indicative quotes from that. Yeah, without going into getting a design in or anything. Yeah.
Just take design out and just put costing as to costing, and then up the top, Kimberley, if we can just put insert December livability standing committee meeting up on the second line. Yep. Bring a report back to the December. Yep, that's it. You comfortable with that, Councillor Duff?
Yes, Mr Mayor.
Okay, Councillor Erkins? All right. Councillor Jones?
Yeah, Mr Mayor, just a couple of things. I think you need, with that letter of consent from the landowner, you need to make sure that that landowner writes in there that if there is any damage caused or created by clearing that timber away, like hence flooding, water, whatever, no cost comes back to council. I think you may have an issue there, if or what, I don't know. But and the other thing that I believe there's residents across the road from this particular site as well. Somewhere close. No one lives across the road. anywhere
Across the
near?
road, we've got the Debosia.
Oh, yes.
farm.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, no, well, you can take that out, but yeah, just a concern with the letter of consent, yes, but if he gives you consent, who's going to be responsible if there is any further damage later on down the track with erosion or anything like that?
I'm just wondering then, Kimberly, if we can put in there to clear vegetation and indemnify council against property, property, property damage, Pete. I mean, we won't indemnify us from a workplace health and safety point of view, but against specifically property damage.
The work's completed. Because, yeah, we're trying to get indemnity for the work that we're doing.
All right, indemnify council against works completed. As to vegetation currently obstructing the viewing area, yep. Anyone in the room have concerns with that motion, Councillor Potter?
No, Mr Mayor, I don't have any concerns with the motion. I'm just curious, is there, because I wasn't able to get there that day, but I'm just wondering, is there a ability to maybe lop the trees as opposed to completely clearing the trees, like we've done up at Apex Park, where we lopped the trees, as opposed to actually just bulldozing and getting rid of the trees?
Yeah, probably a question for you, Councillor Duff.
Thank you. All they are is just little bushes. It's just a small area of little bushes. It's just obstructing it, and it just goes right to a ledge where once that's done, there's no further issue. But you'd have to spray them to stop them coming back up. They're just little bushes. You wouldn't lop them. They're not big trees, as far as from what I can remember.
Okay, thank you. Yep. Councillor Henson, anything from you? We've got a recommendation here to go to council around, yep, just clearing a bit of land there.
No.
Open up the viewing.
Yeah, no, I'm all good. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, let's go to the vote. Those in favour? Okay, that's been carried unanimously. Thank you all. 9.1 is my portfolio report. It's at page 24, and I'd like to now take that as read, as presented, and move that that report be received. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Potter? Speakers? Any concerns or questions? Okay, we'll go to the vote. Those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you all. 10.1. Councillor Shoemaker's Regional Development Portfolio Report at 29. Taken as read, as presented. Recommendation that Councillor Shoemaker's Regional Development, Industry, Agriculture, Water Security, Energy and Circular Economy Portfolio Report to Council be received for information. Do we have a mover? Councillor Jones, seconded Councillor Potter. Speakers? To the vote, those in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you all. That now brings the meeting to a close at 1:44 p.m. Thank you all for your attendance today. Have a wonderful rest of day.